All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin. The talk of the town is strikers. Everything in the last 24 to 48 hours has been about strikers because Timo Werner just keeps missing absolute sitters. So I thought, let's have a conversation with you guys and try and address this whole situation of strikers. If you guys have been following me in my streams or on my streams with my other guests and whatnot, I think it's, we've come to a conclusion that we 100% need a striker next season that's going to bang in 20 goals minimum season in, season out for us to be competitive in the Premier League, especially. There's no way we are going to win the Premier League if we don't have a striker that's going to put some of these goals away. You can say, well, Man City is doing it. Well, we're not Man City. You know what I mean? Not everyone can play in that manner without a striker. And I'm even sure Man City next season cannot sustain what they're doing this season. An absolute madness without a particular striker. Yeah, you can say, well, they still have Aguero and Gabriel Jesus, but they haven't been playing often enough, especially Aguero. He's been injured and it's his last season. And I don't think he's in favor at the moment. And Gabriel Jesus is always in and out from the team. And he's simply not prolific enough. So next season, I'm pretty sure they're going to do their level best to get a particular striker. And we need to do the same thing. But before we get to all of that, let's just quickly analyze through our particular strikers that we have and some of the options that we may have in order to get a striker for next season. The particular players that we are rumored with at the moment. So first of all, let's look at Timo Werner. Guys, the thing about Timo Werner is he's not a out-and-out striker. He's not your traditional lone striker that stands in the middle, waits for, he's a fox in the box. He's not like that. He's more of a second striker inside forward. That's why he plays generally on the left inside forward channel, sometimes even in the right inside forward channel. He's a kind of a striker that likes playing alongside a focal point, let's say. For example, if we had, a Haaland or a Lukaku, or even Tammy Abraham or Giroud, he would like to play with someone like that next to him. He's done that for Leipzig as well. So that's just the trait that he's shown. He doesn't necessarily play up front. That's not what he's been doing for us predominantly. He's been playing on the left side. He's not an out-and-out winger either. He just simply doesn't have those qualities of a winger, but he's like a second striker inside forward. So having said that, he's had some major goal contribution this season. There were some stats, I think 11 goals in all club competition, 12 assists, which is still pretty good considering all the misses that he's had. But for me, he's not an out-and-out striker. We need to get someone up there who can play alongside with him. So that's my assessment on Timo Werner. The other thing is that the caveat that I want to put together is that next season, if he keeps missing the kind of misses that he's having this season, I don't think it'll be tolerated. That's why I'm a bit patient this season. Let it be. We'll see this through, see how it is next season. Now, let's talk about Tammy Abraham. Tammy Abraham, for me, look, I feel like Thomas Tuchel could have used him, but I also understand why Thomas Tuchel doesn't use him, because Tuchel has, if you look at the front three that he's generally been using, it's mostly a front three that have a lot of fluidity. They're not fixated in one position. Say for example, if it's Pulisic sometimes drifts to the right. If it's Mount sometimes goes from right to left, sometimes even in the middle. Pulisic sometimes plays in the middle. Ziyech we've seen sometimes play in the middle. He's obviously played on the right side. So he likes, and Kai Havertz obviously just roams around everywhere and anywhere. So he likes the mobility with the front three, and that's where I feel like Tammy Abraham loses out, because Tammy is not going to drift to the left, he's not going to drift to the right, he is mostly going to play in the middle, and he can probably come down in the midfield and link up play and hold up play. It has gotten better, but that's not what Thomas Tuchel's looking for. He can get that with Kai Havertz, who is still capable of going left or right. So this is where Tammy Abraham is missing out, because he just doesn't fit Thomas Tuchel's style. Now, you can say that why not Thomas Tuchel at times mix things up? Why can't that be the plan B? You're right. He can definitely use Tammy Abraham and Giroud. Giroud falls in the same category as Tammy Abraham in terms of the same sort of style. Stylistically, they're similar. But Thomas Tuchel simply doesn't use it. He doesn't believe in it. So I can't force a manager if they don't believe in it. It's like when Frank was here. You know, he believed in the lone DM and the attacking eights and whatnot, and he had his ideologies. And, you know, it just, you can't force a manager to do anything that they are not completely believing in. Sarri was the same case. So from that perspective, I think Tammy's time at Chelsea is done. And there's reports obviously saying that, you know, Chelsea will listen to anything up to 40 million from other bidders. So I think his time is up, and he's barely played anything for us since Thomas Tuchel has come in. So that gives you an indication that his time is up, and we're probably going to be looking for a striker. Giroud is another one. Lots are saying, many publications out there, many top journalists out there are saying that this is it. His time is up at the end of this season. He'll be released. He'll be, you know, let go of. So that's our striker situation. Now we can talk about a little bit about Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz is like a hybrid. You know, Thomas Tuchel says he doesn't have a 9. He doesn't have a 10. He has 10.5s and 9.5s. And Kai Havertz is more like a 9.5. Do you know what I mean? Who can play that false 9, but then drops deep, you know, helps in midfield, but then can go wide as well, and change his positions. And he does that well. I'm not going to say he doesn't do that well. He does that well, but I still have doubts whether he's a 20-goal player next season. He still has time to develop. We need to understand he's 21, so he's still young. He's not the finished product as yet. He's a fantastic player, but I'm not really sure whether we can just solely rely on Kai Havertz next season to pump 20 goals for us to win the league. So these are our striking options. So bottom line, guys, we need a striker next season if we want to challenge for titles, and we still want to challenge for the Champions League and all the other domestic titles out there. This season, it's been a bit of a madness. I don't know whether it's always going to be like that next season. So what are the options that's available for us? We've got Haaland that we're heavily linked with, but I personally don't think we're going to get Haaland. His wage demands and the amount of money he's going to cost us, because his buyout clause kicks in next season, I believe, of 75 million. But if we were to go in this season, we'd have to pay overs, and that's what Borussia Dortmund wants, you know, somewhere in the region of 100 to 120 million pounds. So I don't know if Chelsea's going to do that. Look, Roman has the money to do that. There's no way we can say that Roman doesn't have the money. He 100% has the money. He 100% has the capability to pay the wages and whatnot, but it will create a massive wage destructure as well in the Chelsea sort of playing roster. So I'm not really sure whether that happens from our regards. And he seems like, I don't know, I feel like it could be a City move. But then again, City's linked with Harry Kane as well. So don't know what's really going to happen, but I'm not really sure if Haaland is truly going to come to Chelsea. If we win the Champions League, you never know. You never know. You could just convince him to come over. The one that I think we are probably going to get is Lukaku. We are so heavily linked with Lukaku. Lukaku wants to come back to Chelsea. He's been flirting around in social media. And that's the thing that, you know, we need to look out for at times, that are the players actually flirting around with this situation in social media? Look, it's not the end all or the be all, but, you know, it gives some sort of indication that the player is keen. And Lukaku, it feels like it's not even unfinished business. It's more the fact that he loves Chelsea so much that he wants to come back. And he's in a situation where I feel like he's in the prime of his game at the moment in Inter Milan. I'm pretty sure they've won the Serie A over there. I haven't been keeping in touch with the Serie A, but I think they've won it over there. So, you know, it could be a perfect scenario for him to come back. Whether Inter does business with us, whether Conte does business with us, I don't know. Conte wanted Lukaku when he was in Chelsea and we didn't get him. We ended up getting him Morata, and we know how that ended up. So I'm not really sure whether Conte agrees with that, but this is a deal that I think is getting a lot of legs at the moment. So it could happen. And if this happens, I think we're in a fantastic position to, put up a mad challenge for the title, because Lukaku has it all. He's got the brute strength, the pace, the physique, his link up, hold up, everything. Him alongside Timo Werner would be madness. And then you have the players like Mount, Ziyech, Kai Havertz, and Pulisic, Callum Hudson-Odoi. It's just going to be brilliant. The depth we're going to have in the team is going to be wonderful. And we don't have to worry about a striker that has 20 plus goals. So that's my thought. Harry Kane, look, as much as he wants to leave Spurs, I think he will leave Spurs. I don't think Spurs are going to do business with us. They barely do business with us. The whole Modric situation, Willian situation with us, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Harry Kane will probably go to Manchester City or Man United, but I don't think he's going to come to Chelsea. So guys, let me know what your thoughts are. Do you keep with Tammy and Timo Werner and the players that we have and trust in them for next season to deliver the Champions League, to deliver the Premier League, or even, challenge for the Premier League and also challenge for the Champions League? We don't want to just disappear off the back of this season. Or do you think we definitely need a striker, whether it's Haaland, Lukaku, Harry Kane? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Smash the like button as well while you're at it. Let's have a friendly discussion, guys. And if you've been, if you're here for the first time, subscribe. And as I said, please smash the like button. Helps a lot. Till next time, guys. See ya.